This Pitch Breakfast video is brought to you by Spangler and Agins, attorneys for Charlotte's startup community.
My name is Eric Kirsch. I'm CEO of Beacon HealthCare Benefits. We are fixing healthcare by creating a free market through transparency and choice. I'm actually a physician assistant and at one point owned my own medical practice. I probably know more about the industry than I'd like to. And despite the fact that it was financially rewarding, I'd come home frustrated every day at just the dysfunction that I had to work in, and I felt like I had no choice in fixing that. Likewise, David Contorno worked in the industry as a health benefits advisor and felt like there was a lot of problems, so we developed a stellar team and began working on the problem. The problem is the entire healthcare model. Right? We have a fee-for-service model in which you don't know what services you're getting until after the fact, in an a la carte billing style, which goes through a third party. Even the physicians don't know the costs of those services until after the fact. And it's in a managed care where basically everything is included in that system, whether it's open heart surgery, medical advice, and in Florida now, yoga. So watch the price of yoga triple. So we call that the status quo. There's a lot of money in the status quo, and it's the reason our healthcare system costs 6 times more than the average developed country. And despite that, it's still considered below average in quality. Physicians aren't happy with it either, with over half of physicians in key areas of medicine describing burnout. But there are other models. These models include a membership style, which is especially effective in primary care or things that are routine. Because imagine you can predict the price and you know what all the services are that are included. Bundled prices in which all those a la carte billing fees are bundled into one episode of care, again, more predictable. And direct contracting, in which you can negotiate either as an employer or an individual with the medical provider. These alternative models have been shown to decrease costs and increase quality of care. The problem is they've had trouble scaling at this point. So that's what we did. We took existing health solutions that are proven to work and created a model that scales them. Essentially a way employers can fund healthcare benefits for their employees. The employees can customize their healthcare plans through a marketplace with transparency, and all the payments go directly from the employer's account to the providers. To make this idea work, we basically decided we're going to focus on the brand of fixing healthcare, being transparent, creating a free marketplace. And we do have a sales force right now of 1 for enrolling providers. And we're going to work with existing benefits advisors who already have the relationships and want to help fix the healthcare. We launched the company 3 months ago. Our sales force of 1 has already had a lot of success. We've gotten 19 contracts from medical practices, which equals about 44 doctors who've agreed to primary care in a membership model. We probably have about 200 specialists that we're now in the process of enrolling. And although we don't even have a product to demo, we've been signing up employers who want to fix healthcare. We don't even have our contract finalized yet, so we've been using memos, and we have over 2,000 employees worth of employers signed up. We expect about 5,000 by the end of the year. It's a very scalable solution. Most of it's automated, and just myself, part-time, brought on, again, about 5,000 employees by the end of the year. That's less than 0.2% of the Charlotte market. At $10 per member per month of our SaaS membership fee, that equals $50,000 a month. Our margins are about 60%. We'll go up as we get to an economy of scale. Again, the Charlotte market is pretty big, but so is the national market. We don't have an official ask yet. We want to prove the Charlotte market and 1 additional market to show we can build it remotely, and then we're going to be starting our next round of fundraising. But we're always looking for customers, partners, and advice. Thank you.
This is when we should have a media here. Because he's a healthcare. He has healthcare.
All right, I'll go first. Nice Eric. That was good. One of my favorite things is, or one of my big pet peeves at these things is people don't use the time wisely. And you did. You were. That was one of the greatest things. You know, you weren't rushing to get done, and it was the right amount of material. I guess what popped right out at me is kind of the simplicity and the extraordinarily low dollar amounts that are involved in what I perceive to be a massive, expensive industry. I'm like, so my first question to you would, who are the powers that be that are going to try to crush you?
Okay, very good question. I spent a lot of time on my team working on these solutions well before we have those challenges, but there is going to be a lot of antagonism, probably from what we can partner with the BUCAs or the Blue Cross, United Healthcare, and so forth, or the third-party payers. We could partner with them. Even employers can use certain buckets or parts of our software and not the entire thing, but it could also be a complete replacement. I suspect that the first thing they'll try to do is come after us through regulatory means, and we already gotten a lot of letters from the state insurance commissioner saying that we're not a PPO, we don't apply to ERISA, and all that so forth. I think their second attack will be to purchase us, and eventually then funnel things back into the status quo. We're just not going to sell out. It's our brand. And then the third one is they'll eventually be forced to compete, which is kind of helping. That's the cause. So we welcome that.
Okay. So both. What about you mentioned something about exclusivity, and it was very impressive the numbers that you put up there that, just you part-time were able to sign up, you said 5,000 employees. What does that mean? Are they just sort of like, you've gotten a number of small companies to say, yeah, okay, amongst other programs, we will use you? Is that what that is? Or
yes, most of
are they really committing to anything? Or
at this point, just sign memos saying that they believe in this and they want to. We use it kind of because you have to build the physician network a little bit ahead of the employer network, but kind of at the same time because everyone wants to know how many physicians are participating, right? Especially the bigger companies. And then the physicians want to know, well, how many employees am I get if I adopt this new model and change the way I practice medicine and so forth. So we kind of have to go on both ends and we go back and forth. And at this point, again, they're just memos, but we should have the final product ready to demonstrate by the end of next week. And we should have contracts ready to be signed.
Are there measures that the other, competitors and the big payers could enact on the physicians? So, we don't want you to work with this. They're not going to do it now. You guys are an ant.
Yeah,
but as you get a little bit larger, then you're going to see them flex on you. And I'm curious to see would it be as simple as sending a memo to the doctor and being like, yeah.
Yes. So far, they've been helping us, actually. Blue Cross Blue Shield made some changes to their state plans and no longer include independent physicians in their network. This is a great program for independent physicians because now they're not at the mercy of those insurance companies. We're just a marketing platform for them. So we allow any physician to use our platform as long as they agree to membership and transparency. We have a marketplace where physicians can bid on bundled services like specialty care and so forth. So as long as they agree to be fully transparent in their price and services, anyone's allowed to. Now that doesn't mean that everyone wants to, but we think we have the better.
So what I think you should do? I think you should partner up with Tryon Medical. Have you tried?
Yes. So they just opened their first clinic last week, and I already have a meeting set up with them.
Okay, because the timing would be perfect because they're trying to launch
Yes.
So I guess you're competing head on with concierge.
No, concierge. We actually have concierge practices. So we would consider this more direct primary care. Some people on the insurance end would call it capitated payments. Concierge does a combination of a fee plus they bill insurance.
Right.
So we actually have multiple concierge practices that said, okay, we won't bill insurance, we're just going to raise our fee in your system. And we were okay with that. We felt it still aligned the interests of the patient and physician properly.
Okay. One company you should look out for, if you don't know them, is Concentric Health. Are you familiar with those guys?
Uh-huh.
Is that a competitor?
I actually was a partner in that company. Are you talking about out of Raleigh?
Out of Burlington or Raleigh, probably
Yes.
both, yeah.
Yeah, so I was
Jeff
actually,
Ellington.
they brought me on as a co-founder years ago, and it honestly,
Has it struggled?
it really struggled. I built my network rapid, quick, got people excited about it, and nothing happened. So then they called me to say that the company dissolved,
Oh, it
and
has.
they've rebuilt it as a new Concentric with just new
So
investors.
you'll beat them to the market then?
Yeah, we're moving extremely quick, and a lot of people are excited about this. And
So
again,
you've learned a lot going through that then?
absolutely. Our goal is to focus on our brand, in that we even hold ourselves the same standards as we do the doctors. We take a set per member per month fee, and we don't take a percentage. So we have no motivation to upsell people on anything. You can use as little or as much of our platform as you want to, just like we ask our doctors to do the same.
So we'll let the audience, we have 2 minutes.
Yeah. Audience, got any questions? Right over here.
So you talked about transparency and pricing. Now we get the bill, then we get the statement from the insurance company, and their worlds apart. So where does the pricing come in as it relates to those two price points?
Okay. Because you're talking about the difference between price and cost, or price and cost, right? The price is what someone assigns to it, which is, I see somebody, I can say my price is whatever it is, and that doesn't mean that's what the cost is going to be. That's not what the third party is going to reimburse. The patient doesn't know what the cost is. I can dictate the price, but that doesn't mean that's the cost. So even the physicians don't know what they're getting paid. They don't always know when they're getting paid. You don't know when you have to reimburse, get a prior authorization and so forth. So there's a lot of steerage, and there's a lot of opaqueness to it. And healthcare bills, medical bills are the second leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. And most people, before they went into those episodes of care, probably didn't know what they were getting into.
Have one right here.
Yes, I just wanted to expand on the name Beacon. I know there's another organization called Beacon Institute, but I was looking for education. So is that more related to?
Yeah, that's different. There's like 50 companies called Beacon and have something with healthcare related. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we rebrand the company once we have the power to educate people what our version of Google meant. Because even though we call ourselves healthcare benefits for familiarity, we are almost anti the status quo of calling ourselves a benefits company. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Got one
Yeah.
more. There we go.
I'm not sure if this is answered, but how do you guard against the physician groups that are displaying price transparencies? Some hospitals starting to show their price list, doctors who this is kind of driving down consumers in healthcare. How do you guard against those folks?
Okay, so we want to see people do that. That's our mission, and they can still do that. If they do it through our software, again, it's free. So why would they not consider that? We're a marketing tool for them that's free, as long as they are transparent. For the employers, we're a very easy, automated payment platform to distribute benefits to all the employees in a way that's customizable and very employee-friendly. But again, what you're talking about as far as the hospitals, they're listing their prices. That's not the cost. They can list whatever price they want. That's not what you're going to pay. That's not what the employer's going to pay on your behalf, and so forth. So I think as long as we stick to a third-party system, we're going to have problems.
All right, Eric with Beacon, everybody.